YouTube, Kurt Curtis. In today's video, we're going to be going over the checklist for 2025 Upper Deck Metal AEW. We finally did get a checklist, which means this is coming out soon. I know I'm doing this a few days after the checklist has been dropped, but typically in the past with Upper Deck AEW products, once the checklist drops about 2 weeks from then, the set is supposed to come out. So we're looking at Wednesday, August 6th release date. However, I still don't believe anything until I see it with Upper Deck and AEW products. Once I see boxes in people's hands, opening them, ripping them, then I'll know for sure. But it looks like that's what's happening. Once a checklist drops, you know that it is for sure coming out pretty soon, relatively soon, within 2 weeks. So we're gonna go over this. First up, the base set is 100 cards. So we're not getting, like we did in 22 Metal, the high series. 22 Metal, they had the 100 card base set, but then they had like cards 101 to 150, like the blue. We're not getting that. We're just getting the 100 cards, which is fine. The parallels are going to be Copper FX, which is 1 in 8 packs, Purple Spectrum FX, numbered out of 199, and those are Blaster exclusives this time around. In 22 Metal, those were in hobby boxes, so those are going to be specifically in blasters, which is interesting. You're going to get red PMGs out of 100, green PMGs out of 10, and then gold PMG 101s, and also printing plate 101s. So, not that many parallels. If you don't include the 101s, you got the copper, the purple, the red, and the green. And then you got like your base version. So, that's really all you got. And then, you know, if you take out the purple, like if you're opening up hobby boxes, those are going to be in blasters. You either get a copper or a PMG, and like that's it. So I'm all for the sets that have like 30 plus parallels of the cards, but I also appreciate like sets that just have a handful like this. Like it's good to get a variety. Not every set needs to have 30 plus parallels per card. So going over the names in the checklist, I'm just gonna read out some names that kind of stand out. Camille, I know she had that horizontal short print in Allure, but Camille's in here even though she's not been on TV. Mother Wayne gets a card, which is going to be interesting. There was like an interview recently on AEW, I think Dynamite or Collision, where it was like Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian and Mother Wayne, and like Nick was talking, and the way Mother Wayne was dressed, if you went to the comment section, everyone was just talking about Mother Wayne. No one even knew what Nick Wayne said or Kip said. It was pretty funny if you read all the comments. So that'll be an interesting card. We have, let's see here, Harley Cameron, obviously MJF, like your classics. Mercedes is in here, Mason Madden. Some of these names I don't recognize, but I probably would recognize them if I saw the person. Hologram, let's see here, Vincent, Dutch, James Drake, Anthony Ogogo. How is Anthony Ogogo still in sets? Like, please, someone explain to me in the comments, is he wrestling ROH? Am I just not aware that he's still wrestling? Or like, how does he still have cards in a 2025 set? Like, I don't get it. Zach Gibson, Action Andretti, Britt Baker, Saraya, no longer with the company, but since these sets take a while to make, she's going to be in this set, probably won't be in many after this, but Saraya does get a card. Let's see here, Matt Taven, Roosh, Thunder Rosa, Turbo Floyd, Eddie Kingston still gets a card even though he's been injured for quite a long time. You know, Kenny Omega, Tony Storm, Cobb Fletcher, Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin gets a card. And the Beast Mortos gets a card number 100. So yeah, the checklist is obviously way different than 2022 because it's been a few years now, which is a good thing because there's going to be a lot of people that are getting their first PMGs. Also, some of the classic names such as MJF and some of those guys that have been there forever going to be getting multiple PMGs at this point, but it is a good thing. I'm actually glad this set got postponed from 2023 till now, because if it was 2022 and 2023 back to back, would have had a lot of similar PMGs, but now we get a bunch of new people. So we'll move on to the autos. So for the base Silver FX auto checklist, there's 87 cards, so it looks like most people are signing, but there is a few that aren't. I'm not going to go over and figure out who's not signing. There are going to be certain autos that are SPs and SSPs, so certain autos are going to be harder to get than others. Aside from the base auto, all the parallels are green FX out of 10 and gold FX 101. So if you pull a base auto, just be happy, because aside from that, all you can get is a green out of 10 or a 101, which is crazy. So I would just be happy you got an auto in general. Next up, we got Auto Graphics 2024 Update Checklist. There's 27 cards in this. To be completely honest, I'm not really sure what this is. 2024 Update. Yeah, so if anyone has any information on this, let me know. I'm just not really familiar or know why it's saying 2024 Update in parentheses here. So I don't want to pretend like I know what I'm talking about when I don't. So if anyone has any info on this, let me know. But there's 27 cards in this checklist. I know they've done in the past in the flagship sets where they do like autos from the previous year and they throw them in and they're hand numbered and stuff. So I was thinking maybe that was this, but this is a pretty big checklist for that. But that is there. Next up, we got Blast Furnace Auto Checklist, 29 cards. These are all numbered to 25. So these are good to know that they exist, but you're just not going to be seeing these. Like all of them are just numbered to 25. They're going to be super rare and the big names are going to be super expensive. And there's a pretty big checklist for this, 29 cards. But it is worth noting, we also have the SkyBox Premium Prospects Auto Checklist with 15 cards in this one. And once again, all these are only numbered out of 25. We move forward to the Smooth Auto Checklist. There's 19 cards in this one, and these are all numbered only out of 10. Those are going to be a big chase in the set, I think. That's going to be crazy. So aside from the base autos, the majority of the rest of the autos are like numbered to 25 or less in the set, so they're going to be super sought after, super rare, hard to get, hard to pull. So basically, you know, the main ones you're going to see are going to be your base autos, and even then, the only parallels are numbered out of 10 or less. Moving on to the inserts. First up, we have the 2013 Metal Universe Retros checklist, and unfortunately, this set only has 20 cards. It says the odds here are 1 in 60 packs, which would make them relatively rare, but I don't know if that's right. Parallels are red PMGs out of 100, blue PMGs out of 50, which I really wish they would have done the blue PMG for the base cards. That would have been pretty sick, but at least we get it here with the 2013 Retros. We also have green PMG out of 10 and gold PMGs 101 and printing plates. I think these are like paintings or drawings or something like that, so it is understandable why they would only have like 20 cards in the set, assuming they would have to like pay to get that done and all that. But I was hoping for like a 50 card checklist at least, just to get some more wrestlers to have these cards because they look so sick in my opinion. But it is what it is, still pretty cool. Moving on, a cut above insert, odds 1 in 150 hobby packs. These do not have any parallels. They don't need them, I guess, because they're rare enough as it is. 20 card checklist. These look pretty cool. Next up, the Blast Furnace checklist, 30 cards, odds 1 in 6 packs. You're going to have gold spectrum parallels out of 99 and also printing plates, which are 101, of course. This is just like the regular insert version of like the autos. Moving on, the Chop checklist. These are 1 in 5 hobby packs. Relatively common. Parallels are red, numbered out of 199, black, numbered out of 25, and 101 printing plates. Next up, we have the Energize checklist, 25 cards, odds 1 in 4 packs. These are going to be super common, with the parallels being gold, numbered out of 199, black, numbered out of 11, and printing plates. So I really like how each of these insert sets, if they do have parallels, the parallels are not all the same. Like each one has its own parallels, its own color, its own numbering, its own vibe. So I do like that. It makes every insert set a little bit different. Not all of them having like just the same, oh, this one's numbered on 199, it's this color. There's a little bit of variety, which I appreciate. Next up, the EX Century checklist. It's 100 cards. So this is basically an entire other base set. The odds are 1 in 8 packs, and parallels are Essential Credentials Future and Essential Credentials Now, both numbered 100 or less. So some of these might be numbered different based on that wording, but it looks like they'll be, you know, numbered 100 or less, and there's 100 cards in this set. And what I've noticed here, obviously you're going to have a lot of wrestlers that did have base cards and stuff like that. Like there's big names in the set, don't get me wrong. But the referees, the announcers, the backstage interviewers, the managers, all those type of people are in this, not in the base set, not in the 100 card base set. So I think that's pretty good because then you're not going to get all these base cards of referees and stuff like that. So they were still able to keep all those for the people that do collect them, because believe it or not, they are out there. But put them in this insert set where they're not going to be as common, so they're not flooding like a whole box. You know, you're going to get a whole bunch of announcers and stuff like that. So that is something to note. But like I said, there is a bunch of legit wrestlers in this. It's a 100-card checklist. And there is a lot of people in here that are in this one and not in the base set as well. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, this is kind of reminds me how they did that one year where they did a 100-card canvas set in one of the flagships. So it's basically an entire another set within a set. Moving on, we got the Jambalaya checklist, 20 cards, odds 1 in 360 packs. These are super rare, super sought after. I wasn't a fan of these originally, but I did manage to pull one of these out of a single blaster for the 2022 set, which was just crazy for that to happen. And these actually look way nicer in person, if you haven't seen them, than they do on just an image online. These things look really nice in person for sure. But yeah, 20 cards in that. Moving on, Premium TV Performers Checklist, 30 cards, 1 in 50 packs, so not common, but not super rare. Next up, we got the Ring Heroes Checklist, 25 cards, 1 in 4 packs, super common, with gold parallels out of 99 and black parallels numbered out of 10. Also printing plates. Moving on, we got the SkyBox Premium Prospects Checklist, 25 cards, 1 in 4 packs as well, another super common one. And here we have the Star Rubies out of 50, and then Star Diamonds 101, and also printing plates. So they did the SkyBox Premium in 2022, but they also had the green out of 10, I believe. So they don't have that, but they do have the Star Rubies out of 50 again. This was a pretty cool set first time around, so looking forward to that. The Smooth Checklist, this is just the regular insert, not the auto version. 20 cards in this set, odds 1 in 9 packs. Parallels include Gold Spectrum out of 99 and printing plates 101. And then we got Uno Dos Trios Checklist. 30 cards in this checklist. These are 1 in 3 packs, going to be super common. However, the parallels are gold, numbered out of 333, and black, numbered out of 33, and printing plates 101. So obviously in AEW, there's lots of factions, lots of tag teams, lots of groups, lots of trios teams. So it makes sense. But 30 cards is a pretty big checklist for like a tag team or trios card. So I think it's cool. They got the parallels thrown in here too, and with the odd numbers and all that. So something to look into. You're going to have to dig into that to see who's available because it's too much to go over. The Vivacity checklist, 20 cards, 1 in 150 packs, going to be pretty rare. And that does it, guys. That's going to be it for the checklist review. Lots of inserts like Metal had in the past. I'm actually looking forward to this quite a bit. I really like the first try at Metal, and since they've done it once and now they can kind of learn from it, and they're releasing another one they've had a few years, I think this set's going to be sick. I like this, depending on the day, sometimes better than Allure. Sometimes just as much as Allure, but like in my opinion, which I know is not the majority, I think this set is just as cool as Allure, if not better at times. And I'm looking forward to this a lot. I'm hoping to get at least a box, maybe a couple to open up here on the channel when I can. Let me know what you guys think of the set. Are you going to pick some of this up? Do you like what you see so far? Appreciate you guys watching. As always, until next time.